Hi, Campbell. This is Linda. Thank you so much for your patience with this feedback. So what I've done here is I have highlighted different parts of your essay that I think work really well and others that maybe need some checking. The green parts are the things that are highlighted in green are the things that I think are contributing to a central focus or a central idea. And the items that are highlighted in this reddish color are areas that maybe have some problems in terms of sentence structure or incoherence or clarity. Um, I haven't done a lot of marking. I'm not trying to like comb through the paper and looking for every little thing. What I'm really focusing on is overall content and organization. I'm looking for the development of paragraphs, and I'm looking for a strong central idea. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll back to the top here. I first want to say that you have good format. You've got your heading. I think that the title is not uh, really your topic, and you want to have a title. The title should reflect the focus or message or topic of your essay. To simply say literacy is not enough, especially for the way that you have written this essay, because I believe you've only mentioned the word literacy once that I could see, and the rest of it's kind of implied. And so we need to be a little bit more specific if you're going to use that as your title. So I recommend that you don't really tell the reader that you about this whole literacy thing. I recommend that you maybe get rid of these first two sentences um, and connect. Let's see if you can connect this first sentence with another with this paragraph here. I think you just need to kind of just get right into your story. I've played video games since I was about 7 years old. That's a pretty good hook because, and I would recommend that you probably take this sentence here and bring it up and let's connect it whoops, let's see if I can get that to work here. Well, maybe not. Well, take this sentence here and connect it up here. So I've played video games since I was about 7 years old. I play a first shooter game called Counter-Strike. Or you could maybe go, now that I'm 18 years old and playing for a semi-professional team, I play a first-person shooter game called Counter-Strike. And then you can go back to you're going to the tournament. I would probably rearrange this paragraph and make sure that it's in the right time order because it seems like it's a little bit so arrange the paragraph chronologically so it makes more sense for the reader. You have to always keep your reader in mind. So then you give us a little bit of history. The reason why I've highlighted these green sentences is that you've dedicated all your time, you were asked to join a team, and quickly became the best player. And then you went on to another team, and then you have this whole narrative here about what your experience in Toronto. I put this part in here about, I highlighted the point that you hardly slept as kind of a main idea because what I'm looking for is kind of the evolution of the story. And it's so what I do is I see you getting to Toronto and maybe not arriving or getting there with the best circumstances, and that's kind of, you're talking a little bit about the conflicts that you faced. And so, because you've talked about, how little you slept, and you've talked about how you felt overwhelmed and how things were very uncomfortable. And then, you on the second day I found a way to rotate. So I wonder if you could say more than that. Like, how did you address all the conflicts? Did it become less overwhelming? Did it become less overwhelming as time went on? Did you find confidence? What how is this whole experience uh, sorry, a literacy for you. Now, you don't need to use the word literacy. I mean, I think literacy, remember, is just like an area of competence or an area of knowledge that you have, and kind of something that you're really good at. And so, something that you don't have to really think too hard about, and that's how we know we're literate, because we don't have to think really about speaking. And if you are able to do something, and relying on your muscle memory, or you just have the repetition of the experience or some sort of skill, then that becomes a literacy. And so I think that you want to really tell the reader about that. And then you can talk about how it ended up becoming a successful experience for you and how it's not easy to play. So down here, I would probably say that this is a new paragraph. It's probably your conclusion, because you're now telling us, the audience, about the things that are beneficial about playing, the time, the practice, it's how it's similar to a sport, and how you have to really put in some time investment in order to be good at it. You just don't get to play video games, you say, and just go and make money, and you have to actually make it a commitment in your life. And so I'm wondering, what are the overall lessons that you are walking away with? Sorry, as you participate in this particular literacy. So now I think that I love that you've included this picture. I think that's good. You've got some nice overall formatting going on. I will say that I do think that this reads a little bit like a travel log, in that you kind of go step by step every little thing that you do. And what I don't see happening in the paragraphs is some sort of a controlling idea. You could call it a topic sentence. In a narrative, it's more of a controlling idea that reminds us of what the bigger lessons are. And so when you say up here that when you started playing video games, why is that significant? I guess, why did you choose, to write about this? I know it's something that you're good at, but you need to tell the reader, like, the significance of this for you as a literacy, as an area of knowledge. Something like this, playing Counter-Strike. Many people might say that video games end up causing you to end up not having a lot of social skills, and I'm just making stuff up, but having social skills and communication skills. However, for me, being involved with with Counter-Strike has actually opened new doors and given me the opportunity to build confidence and to build my financial ability, my earning ability, and to build my independence. Because of that whole experience in Toronto with you getting lost and everything. And so you want to have some sort of a central idea there in the introduction. And then when you come into this next body paragraph, you want to kind of reconnect to that. So when you first started playing Counter-Strike, you weren't very good, but you quickly started to get a lot better, and soon. And you were especially better with friends, okay? So this is where you could say something like, so then you want to connect to the main point. And it might be something like this. I found that I was competitive by nature, and that I wanted to do well in this, that I was motivated to do my best, and that was an important thing for me to know about myself. And so then I was asked to join on a team, and I was kind of shocked. I became the best player, and you ended with this record. And the next, I joined another team. And so then what did you get from that team? How did that contribute to your literacy? This other team really helped me to build my confidence. We were undefeated, and we went on to play in a higher division. And because of that, I play on a different league called the Mountain Dew League, on a platform called ESA. Now, when you are using terms that are unfamiliar to people like me, you need to maybe do a little bit of defining. or explaining of what an ESA is. And then but don't forget that you want to like say, okay, so up here I learned that had maybe I was competitive, or I have tenacity because I didn't give up, and I became a lot better. And then in this team, I added to that tenacity and competitive nature, also a level of confidence. And then when I went to Toronto, I added a level of independence. So the video games not only are teaching you, not only are a skill for you in terms of the literal skill of the video game, but they're actually because of that literacy, you are developing a stronger identity as an individual, as an adult, things like that. Does that make sense? And so you want to, okay, so then we want to have a controlling sentence in this paragraph. So, because we were so good, you want to transition in our Mountain Dew League. We were invited to Toronto, Ontario, to play against 3 other teams. We kind of try to combine the sentences. So, like for example, these sentences are kind of short and choppy, and if you could try to, try to combine all these sentences into one idea, um, and then so like because of our team's ability in the Mountain Dew League, and because we were able to take second place, we were invited to Toronto, Ontario, where I had the opportunity to go to Vancouver to play against other teams. And our team had the opportunity to have paid for flights. Everything was paid, our hotel, our food, whatever. And then this is that kind of travel mappy part, but when you get in here, you so like 2 important parts in here are, having to find your way to the hotel. All you had was a picture, and again, getting lost on the way there. And so my experiences in Toronto not only gave me the opportunity to grow my skills in playing Counter-Strike, but I also had to develop a level of independence to be able to get myself to and from the competitions on my own. And so then when you come down here to your conclusion, and you keep kind of doing that, instead of telling the reader what you should do, which is not good, we never want to use second person pronouns in an academic essay. Don't use, that would be like the you, your, yours, second person pronouns. And so instead of saying this, you do, then what you say is, not anyone can pick up Counter-Strike and do well. The vast majority of players will never be good at the game. I became good at it because I put in a lot of time and a lot of practice. Similar to a physical sport, I actually had to learn how to work with a team. I had to sacrifice many thousands of hours in order to be good. And because it's not a physical sport, I was able to have a longer stamina to continue to play. So those are kind of where you take all of those lessons and you bring them all together. And I need to see those lessons reflected throughout the entire essay, and those lessons would be reflected in topic sentences or controlling ideas of each of the paragraphs. So I hope that helps, and good luck on doing the final draft. Thank you.